There we go. Zoom lenses. Arguably the best type of lens that you can use as a beginner content creator. And this is why. Hello, my name is Renee and welcome to my channel where I break down and simplify everything that you guys need to know to make your content look more professional. Let's make something. Alright, so before we start, I want to talk about the difference between zoom lenses and their counterparts, prime lenses. Prime lenses, like their name indicates, are the rawest, most prime version of a lens that you can get. Kind of. So prime lenses are generally much better in low light conditions due to the fact that they can shoot at a wider aperture. They're also usually much faster to focus and are really sharp. So why would you go with a zoom lens over a prime lens? Well, the issue with prime lenses lies within the focal length and the fact that the focal length is a fixed focal length. So there's no zooming in and out or anything like that. What you see is what you get. Zoom lenses, on the other hand, while they aren't like super good in low light conditions and they aren't as sharp as prime lenses, they are extremely versatile. The main reason being is because with a zoom lens, like the name indicates, you can actually zoom in and out and you can change between multiple types of focal lengths. So you'll notice that whenever you buy a camera and it comes with a lens, almost 100% of the time, that kit lens will be a zoom lens. Now, why would camera manufacturers do that? Because it's more versatile and it's easier to use for beginners that are just starting out. Zoom lenses allow the photographer or videographer to use multiple focal lengths. That way they can change up the style and see what looks best. Of course, it's important to keep in mind that prime lenses do indeed push out much better quality stuff. But if you can't even get the look that you're actually going for, then what is the point? Alright, so let's say that you're out shooting and you're trying to photograph or take video of something that's relatively out of reach. If you have a prime lens that happens to have a short focal length, then you're kind of out of luck. Especially if what you're trying to capture actually is really out of the way. So for example, if there's a fence in the way or you just can't get to it for whatever reason, then that's where a zoom lens could come in handy. Of course, you can always have multiple prime lenses in your bag. That way you can just switch out lenses whenever you need a different focal length. But in the time that it takes you to open up your bag and then take the lens that was on your camera, secure it, put it inside your bag, and then grab the new lens, put it back on your camera, turn on the camera, then frame up your shot again, your shot could be gone by that time. Especially if you're shooting like live events or nature or anything that moves, really. So if you're trying to swap out a bunch of prime lenses, then it's gonna waste a lot of time. But if you have a single zoom lens in your bag and it covers a wide variety of focal lengths, then you're ready to go. A zoom lens allows you to switch up the look that you're going for without having to worry about carrying more gear. The only real issue that I have with zoom lenses is that they're not as good in low light conditions as prime lenses. The only way your zoom lens is gonna be like really good in low light conditions is if you spend a hefty amount of money. Of course, there are some really good budget friendly zoom lenses out there, but they're definitely not as good as the more expensive ones. So if you want a really good zoom lens, then be prepared to spend a good amount of money. Almost as much, if not more, than an actual camera. But it might be better to just invest more money into your lenses rather than into your camera, because at the end of the day, your lenses are what determines the actual look of your project. Just saying. Anyways, I'll be real honest with you guys and tell you that I honestly do prefer prime lenses. The results just come out really nice and it looks super professional. They do really well in low light conditions. So I usually am the person that brings their whole bag and has all of their lenses in there, and every single piece of gear that I can imagine will be found in that bag as long as it fits. That way I am prepared for any kind of job, any kind of scenario, no matter what. But there are days that I don't want to carry around all that stuff. Sometimes I just want to have one lens and one camera. No bag, no tripod, no extra lights, nothing. But the issue is that my prime lenses weren't giving me that flexibility that I was looking for. If I only brought one prime lens to a certain shoot, then I'm stuck with that prime lens for the whole time. So what I did was I got myself a Canon EOS RP that came with the lens that I was looking for. It's a Canon 24-105 f4 for the RF mount. And the reason why I got that specific setup is because I wanted to have a camera and lens that was ready to go no matter what. Of course, that setup isn't gonna be like the absolute best that I can get, but it's really reliable, versatile, and flexible, and you can just pull it out and it's ready to go no matter what. And that's honestly what I think is the best thing for beginner content creators to do. Get yourself a small camera body and a good zoom lens, that way you can carry it around wherever you go. That way you have absolutely no excuses as to why you can't shoot. One last thing I do want to say about zoom lenses and prime lenses, if you do end up using zoom lenses, don't get lazy. And by that I mean don't just sit there in one spot and zoom in and out and think those are different shots. They're not, you're just more zoomed in. This is something that I do a lot. I get lazy and I just sit there and zoom in and zoom out. That's another good benefit of the prime lenses, because if you're stuck with a single focal length, you're forced to move around and you're forced to change angles and see things from different perspectives because you have to. So if you get a zoom lens, don't get lazy. Just keep that in mind. So my final thoughts on zoom lenses, I honestly do recommend them for anybody who's a beginner or anybody who's gonna be creating content, especially if you're not 100% sure on what kind of content you're gonna make, because a zoom lens allows you to stay flexible, it allows you to stay creative, it allows you to just be able to do whatever you wanna do with it. Prime lenses are amazing and they're fantastic and I absolutely love them, but they are a little limiting. And no matter if you're gonna be going zoom or prime, you're still gonna be spending a good amount of money. That's just how this camera world is. Everything's really expensive, but it's a good investment, especially if you're planning on making money with this. Then it's definitely worth spending money now and then just earning that money back as you go. I think it's better to just get the expensive version first instead of just getting a bunch of non-expensive versions, and then eventually you're gonna add up all those non-expensive versions and it's gonna make it just as expensive as the expensive version. Well, do your research. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but those are just my opinions. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope I was able to help some of you out there. If I did, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. And if you wanna see more content just like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and do whatever you guys do down there. Wait, also in the comments, let me know what lenses you're gonna get, if it's gonna be a prime or a zoom lens, or if you think prime lenses are better, let me know why down below. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I will catch you guys next time. Bye.